Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 1, Episode 4. Oh, okay. So, Hinata,
Cried on the bridge.
Yeah, has had a good cry.
Yeah.
And, Ray was able to be there for her, which is good.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot that needs to be unpacked. And this feels like that type of show, you know? A show of processing. A show of unpacking feelings.
This is very much a process. Like
all the things.
I think I mentioned last episode about how this show feels like it's about healing. But it's not just healing, it's the
Not
healing process.
Yes.
Like, takes
absolutely.
time.
Lots of time.
Yeah.
So guys.
Apply as necessary.
Yeah. Lots more feels probably incoming. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I love the colors in this show.
Yeah.
They're so good.
And then it goes straight to monochrome right after that.
But like the way they put that sort of like mask over the opening, you know? Of like the black speckles or whatever. And it stays consistent throughout.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder if it's an actual animation trick rather than an actual layer over
Well, yeah,
everything.
but that's the thing. I think it is just a flat layer as far as I can tell.
Because I would think actually it might be that there's a few frames that have the coloring slightly altered, and then they just switch the frames rapidly, you know?
Sure.
Hina-chan wa tottemo nayande ita.
Yeah. That was so aesthetically pleasing. Oh my god! Oh my god!
甘辛しょっぱいきんぴらとかダメ茶色のダメもっと可愛いお弁当でないとダメなのってうわ可愛いってなるようなねえ桐山くんってあれ早っもうそんなに見たの
あ、はい。
Like, yes.
ASMR.
呼んでよかったら
4 kilos! Holy crap!
野球部の試合があって。
That's a lot! Oh, those are chestnuts, okay.
そしてどうやらその試合には
の子なんだよね高橋くんって背の
高橋
した
あ
小学生の頃はそれが
Oh,
今じゃひなの学校
Takahashi.
彼女はその気になる人らしいに手
Who she's concerned about. Yeah.
今日さ
Yeah,
上がっちゃった小学校の頃からなのにね
Ah!
違うもんそんなんじゃないもんなんですぐそういう風に言わないでじゃのバカ
Ah!
ごめんごめん
Hi, hi, come in,
で
come in.
僕は渋川に用の栗の皮を
Ah, nice. That level of details.
10時からでしょじゃあどうすればいい
Her analysis. Kowalski analysis.
卵焼きと赤いものが欲しかったら
Ah! Anything I can eat now.
絶対ダメこれに決めるんだもんはい10時までなのにあお金が
Oh, depression.
お姉
Could
ち
I
ゃん
borrow some
これ
money?
買いたいんですけど栗かぼちゃ牛ひき肉パン粉玉ねぎ
Oh my gosh.
ペッパーラディッシュオリーブアボカドアスパラヤングコーンバルサミコ酢レモンマッシュルームパプリカ
Ah! Yeah, yeah.
コストパフォーマンス悪い
This is not cost
3000
effective.
円は超えるわよ
Oh my gosh.
お弁当用食費から3000円もでの158円でし
Oh,
か
I was right. They are very much, you know, saving, being thrifty and saving money. Ah!
何よ使って
Oh.
ちゃんよその子なの
Ah!
どこから来たのママのお兄ちゃんじゃ
Oh. That whole scene was hilarious and awkward and oh my gosh.
って言ったんだけどあかりさんなかなか受け取ってくれなくてあるかも
Nice.
そしたら
レイちゃんってね
Sweet.
何でも拾ってくるの
あー
昔からなの
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you.
大丈夫
That's so sweet.
かな
Yeah. So she has a little bit of a savior's complex, you know. But there are worse things to have by a lot. Yeah. But Momo being like, "Are you someone else's kid?"
You're not my big brother?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever seen him enter his place before. So now we know how kind of depressing that whole...
Yeah, the contrast from all the color to that place and then back to this again.
No! Oh. Ah! Oh my gosh. Time is going.
今手が離せない遅れます先に
Oh my
頭
god.
がいっぱいで
Oh.
これじゃおしゃれしすぎて
Oh. The owl thing.
机と本
Hey, cool. Good. Right, I keep forgetting that he's like 17. Takashi.
あれが噂の高橋君に中学生そして確かにかっこいいいたいたお弁当間に合ったのかなえ逆転だ
Dang.
ホームラン
Home run. Bottom of the 5th inning.
うわめちゃめちゃ少年漫画の主人公ですけどひなちゃんのあんな顔見たことねえっぽいんですけど
Oh.
まっとうな恋っぽい
Oh yes, you just know.
Yeah.
Wait. What is your expression? What the hell? Do not want.
I forgot what episode that was in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So many girls.
高橋くん松尾私たちも行っていい
Oh.
何しよう
Oh. Hina. Just please don't destroy the lunch. Please don't destroy the lunch. It's gonna be okay. No, don't throw it in the trash. No, come on. No, Hina. Yes, good. Yes. Well done, Ray. Well done.
ダメだよ
Don't do it.
ってお姉ちゃん聞くもん
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
なんだ
お姉ちゃんには分かんないもんだってお姉ちゃんって上手だし姉ちゃんのお弁当なら
Oh, that's so.
帰ろう
Yeah.
女の子ってわからない
It's okay. There's a lot to understand. Wow, they want to make everything pretty.
渡せなかったのかもう泣かないお
Oh,
姉ちゃんも渡せなかったことあるもん
oh, good. お姉ちゃ
Yeah,
んも
yeah. な
yeah,
かったこと
Oh.
そりゃあるよひなと同じだよ
yeah. Way to
可愛いの作
go.
りたくてだからつい口出ししちゃった私がひなに言ったことって私が言ったことと
repeating,
同じなの
That's beautiful. Yeah.
なんてねお母さんがじゃあみんなで食べよっか
Yeah. Oh, my heart.
何今日はいっかいいっすか
I love those cats so much.
They're just passed
あ
out.
どうしたの
Ah!
どう桐山くんあなたこれ味見した苦くて甘くてまさに初恋の終わりのような味がしてひなしようね
Oh, I feel so bad for the cats.
初
Like,
めてのお弁当は正解だったのかも
that's so adorable because,
Yeah.
like, in any other context, it would be like, oh, I feel bad for Hina, but this, it's like, no, this is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go.
ああはいはいわかりましたお前の勝ちでいい
何もああ仕方ねえなハイハイ的な物言い
もう一回だ俺が先手な
Moikai!
俺
しかも何それ俺ただの練習台じゃん
Yes.
小さいよ桐山
How am I going to get better?
いいよ俺研究は一人でやる方が性に合ってるんだって何回言ったら
貴重なライバルを
Oh
失
my
うことは
gosh, this music just is so dissonant with, like,
He has his legs
like
crossed. and everything.
Kiriyama's. Yeah.
時は急を要する
Yes, always cast haste. It's really strong. Good morning.
朝の9時にいきなりアポなしで現れ特効薬の開発だとか言われてもしかも俺オールラウンダーだからそれあんま関係ないし飯食いに行こうか
Jeez, that's violent. Like
Yeah.
that's
そうだメックバーガーは
mech
ギガメック
burger.
とか
Giga
や
Mac.
べっくかいやよそ桐山はいつも何食ってんの
俺か
He's like, I don't eat
俺は
much
一人の
actually.
時はパンとかにかな
Wow, that's
ああでも
that's
最近は
depressing.
時々知り合いの家で晩ご飯を食べさせて
Oh yeah.
ももちゃん
Momo, is she
どう
lost?
したのお姉ちゃんたちは
Oh. Wait, mother.
Like Totoro,
知り合いか
but you know, changed for copyright.
今確かボドロとボドロってあれであろう大人気の俺も大好きな出てきた森に住む知的生命体の子
Yes,
まあ
we get it. We get it.
知的という部分では
Yes.
朝から直樹子
I should ask you
な
your
おなん
name.
という
What is it?
では桃くん 手をつなごうではないか。危険だからな。
Oh my god.
ももちゃん俺といるより
お家はどこなのかね。
Okay, good. About that up, about that up.
レイ君
あかりさん顔が真っ赤なんですけど。ああ部活の。
はじめまして。桐山くんの親友の二階堂春信と申します。
あなたもいらっしゃらない。
Oh!
またよその
Whoa!
ありがたいお言葉。ではぜひ喜んで。
Huh? Huh? What the heck?
ねえねえバドラまたって。
Man.
まるで映画のセットみたいだ。
Yeah.
ごめんなさい。
Oh my gosh.
いやひなちゃんが謝ることでは。
Oh my gosh.
もっちり
Oh! Oh!
桐山君素晴らしいお友達ね。
What the heck is happening?
聞いたことね。
がないの。
Right, right, I get it.
ごめん。
I'm really sorry.
ハンバーグ
薄味でタンパク質控えめであれば。
ではその豊満なボディはそんなメニュー
いやいや
できないはず。もしかしてダイエットお年頃ですよね。メタボリックな自分。もしかしたらもっと事態は深刻。いけないわ。
This is true.
大丈夫。私に任
Oh my god! Oh my
美味
god.
しいわ。あかりすまないね。
お店でのトークに耳を傾けてきたわけじゃなくってよ。
Such power.
さあどうぞ。二階堂くんは味付け自分で自由にしてみてね。よかった。よく噛んでゆっくり食べてね。
Goten. And also chewing. Well.
30回以上噛むようにジーヤにもいつも言われているのですが、
Whoa,
どうにも
jeez.
自分せっかちで。
Whoa.
あらなんかしらこんな時間に。
夜分大変失礼いたします。
I have arrived.
お花岡迎えに来てくれたのか。
It's like he has a
I
GPS
know, I
tracker
know,
or something. Yeah.
それはもちろん。
Ah,
Yeah,
he
that's
does!
right. That's right.
おっと失礼。どうも。
He almost outed him. Oh my gosh.
迎えに
That's
来てくれた
right.
んだ。
Yeah.
昔からそうだった。魔法みたいだろ。
Magic! Yeah, yeah.
今その人 GPS って言った。
He definitely said it.
欲しか
Oh.
ったら皆さんで。
Oh. I love this guy.
奇遇ですわ。どうぞどうぞ。
What is this? Everything is so happy and stuff, even though she's in full hospitality mode.
And,
Like-
and I might be wrong, but I think what they were insinuating there is that the stuff that he got were actually from their shop.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah. Like the way she looked at then, like the paper.
Oh,
wrapper
you're
and
right, it
everything,
is,
And
it
she
is.
was like, "I love these too," you know. Yeah.
What if he's that next level, though? He's like, I'm gonna buy something of theirs.
Uh-huh.
Because
He's
that's
like-
supporting them
He's
even
already
more.
done a credit report on them and everything. And
Yep,
like,
yep, yep. That would be amazingly genius. Like, that would be... That would be awesome. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
yeah.
This was a very sweet, wholesome episode with not a lot, I'd say, really to discuss about it, except for that one really stinger part that just kind of,
Yeah.
kind of shoved its way in out of nowhere.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
when he was thinking about love. And then suddenly a woman, a memory of a woman, encroaching upon him
Yeah. Yep.
while he was in a compromised position. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing that's probably the case here. That wasn't a family member. Definitely not. Usually, I think those kinds of things are what it tends to be. It might have been. It might have been. But when thinking about love, what I'm worried about here is that he has either had love ruined for him in some way, and that's generally something that happens from abuse within the family. But given that most recently he had his family die in a car accident.
And I don't think it was supposed to have been like really recent, but it is something that happened.
It's something that happened, but Is there any way we're supposed to be able to tell that was actually a long time ago? Because he looked the same.
Really?
In the actual...
Oh, okay. I thought he looked. He
looked smaller.
Smaller, and just noticeably a bit younger. Not like baby
I guess it's
or
all.
anything.
I guess it's all ratios and perspective because we don't know how big she is. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Well, either way, a lot can be insinuated by that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. This is going to be rough.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, I don't want to discuss that right now because, this episode is actually quite
wholesome
wonderful.
and happy and wonderful and bright and cheerful.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Man, like... They made us get even more invested in the family with Hina having her little crush, and she was, too nervous to, go and give it to Takahashi, who they even world building wise connected him to the environment with having his family be a part of the Takahashi Milk Company or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's a cool little distinction.
And they mentioned
there.
They mentioned how they only buy milk when it's on sale for 158 yen or something like that, or whatever it was, which is
but
a lot more mention of the economics and their
there was a lot more mention about that in this situation here, where we realize, and this is something because it comes from the perspective also of Nikaido, yeah, because he's rich. His family's like, wealthy, and he comes in and he's like, whoa, this is like out of a movie set. That shows his disconnect from people of this kind of wealth status, and also how he would, be kind of enamored by it. So they're getting by because of the shop probably, but if any problems probably came to the shop,
it's something where
bad.
It's something where a $30, because 3,000 yen, around $30, a $30 expenditure is like, no, we can't squeeze that in,
Well, I mean, yes, definitely. But it's a thing of where, yes, we count the pennies and stuff. We make sure that we nickel and dime it, and that's totally a thing that I've experienced before. We've experienced before, and it's something that I think makes it kind of sweet, but it's also something where I look at kind of the future potential for this story, and we have this up-and-coming pro shogi player.
Yep.
And they mentioned, like, right at the get-go with his money situation, and it's something
doing
that...
all right.
And it's something that I've always wondered if there was going to be some kind of giving of gifts and essentially resources in that regard.
Right.
When he starts not healing, but I would say coming at just life in general from a more confident and whole place. I could see him being a supporting
absolutely
structure in their lives as well.
And he talked about it. He was like, hey, maybe I can, this can be the gateway to me helping pay for meals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because Akari does not want him to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
So there's a little bit
because she is the one helping out
there.
here, and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to be helped. Ironically, that is one of the most common problems of someone that really loves
savior
to
complex.
help people in the savior complex way is they don't accept help themselves.
Right.
Which, okay, can we just say that part where she sees Nikaido and she just freaks out, just, I'm like, okay, of all the plot twists to have, that one I did not see coming. I saw, like, the dark stuff coming, like what we got hinted at here, before I saw this.
Yeah.
Because what was that?
Well,
like,
I think the way it's like just high energy sort of comedy fun thing. But I think one of the ways that they also explained it was the way they did the different images and stuff. Is the idea that, well, if he's fat and happy, then that means at the very least he doesn't have a problem putting food on the table.
Oh,
so it's one of those things of like,
but
it's security,
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
I know that's
But,
okay.
I mean,
okay.
maybe that's just me reading into it, but
No, but I don't. I think that's a very good.
yeah.
Oh, dang.
And which
because
throws a whole other kind of light on the whole thing of wanting to make things soft and fluffy, in that sense, like
Wow.
wanting to become that place where everything is made okay.
Well, what? Yeah,
yeah.
That's something that I didn't immediately jump to, partially because she seemed to have such an emotional first sight response to it, which I think you're right. It was dramatized for the purpose of being funny. But now I didn't interpret based on the traditional, like he was in the like different garb and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a real possibility then that she might be thinking about this from the standpoint of helping her family, not necessarily as much of an attraction thing.
I mean, it could be much simpler than that.
I hope it's much simpler than that.
And I'm not trying to say it's some sort of nefarious
No.
manipulative type thing or whatever.
No.
But
I'm just meaning that
just there's a positive association there, with something that is a struggle for them that
Yes.
clearly it's not a struggle for this guy.
Yeah.
I expected, because, again, I don't remember things like this. I remember some things like the GPS thing, which
Right.
was absolutely amazing.
that is
And
that was
I
so
love
funny.
it.
GPS. Yes, he tells me where he is, obviously.
But the idea that when the butler shows up, I'm expected her to be like, oh my god, he has a butler, like,
Right. But she had been told about the butler prior to that, so it made it
that's
less of a jolt. But it is kind of hilarious that they didn't catch on to the GPS thing, or maybe they did and they're just being nice and ignoring it. But I love that Ray's like, wait, you're under constant super surveillance, like,
right.
this changes things. I can't have you coming to my apartment. Who knows what cameras are picking up? Like, that's going to be the real twist, is that he's got like this like little micro camera right here as well with the GPS tracker like in his blood or something, like he's practically a cyborg. Okay, we had that. We had the sweet little baseball scene. That was adorable.
Trying to give him the gift when there was all the trouble and stuff that was going on with, like, everything, and
She
Shinra
tried to
being
make it
late
and everything.
like, and all that stuff.
I loved Akari trying to give her practical tips on how to get things to work and how to arrange the bento box and all this like that.
I don't want to do some old lady lunch.
And she just, old lady, like thinking, oh no, like I'm ruined. But you know what this is, though, is this is setting up the world to be a little bit bigger, to have more characters.
Yep.
This is something that will probably recur, like it'll probably occur again in the plot in the future. Is Hina's, crush on this star baseball ace, Takahashi. Yes. His name just,
exactly. It's like, I don't even speak Japanese, but I can tell when a name is like one of those names,
Yeah.
where it's like, it's made to be a cool sounding name,
My name is Takahashi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tsukishima. Like there's those names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
and then
Yeah,
and I
good
feel
stuff.
like the fact that this episode was so, warm and fluffy and all that stuff, served as a very effective contrast to when they had the less warm and happy stuff in there. Like, just the bit of him going back to his apartment, and he's thinking about all the stuff and everything, but then he goes back to his apartment and it's just this, bleak, like, there's a lot of blacks and blues, in the color scheme there, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to the oranges and yellows and, everything
Right.
at the other place. And then they immediately switch back to Hinata prepping the breakfast,
Right.
and it's back to the bright, warm colors and everything.
yeah.
I love that. And then of course there's the
So stay on the wholesome. Stay on the wholesome.
Uh-huh.
The other thing was that she came back and she's like, I couldn't do it. And then Akari's like, I can connect with that. Do you remember what my mother told me and stuff? And I'm like, oh, that's so good. But then the goofy thing was that like they actually go and try to eat the food and the cats are like, let's eat it. And the cats are like, afterwards. And you think like, oh, they gorged themselves on the food. Well, it's like, no, the food like knocked
Wasn't
them out
good, yeah.
because it was just like, you know.
And
they're
one
like,
of the things
wow.
that I wonder is like how much of that is just because she wasn't good at cooking it versus like she
Panicked.
shouldn't. Well, yeah, and panicked and everything versus the things that she was trying to make. She was trying to make stuff that would be exotic and out there and all that stuff.
Sure.
But it was really just a bad idea. Like
Right.
she should have gone with the simpler things, you know,
Yeah.
where you know it's actually going to taste good and
Yeah, how
go
do
well
you
together and
what,
stuff.
what is the prep work required in cherry tomatoes? You arrange them in there in a
Maybe you
smiley
slice
face.
one in half, you know.
Oh my
like,
god.
And even then, I don't
No,
think
you-
you'd even want to do that because then the liquids get everywhere. And
Right,
stuff.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you crust the edges so it doesn't leak the fluids or something
Sure,
like that.
yeah.
Who knows?
Exactly.
But I love that they had this wholesome, sweet moment, but we had to just break the tension just a little bit by inserting this food is disgusting. Oh my god, I'm so glad she didn't give this out because
Yeah.
then she would have branded horrible cook at school,
Right,
you know.
exactly.
And that's just
Yeah.
a blessing in disguise right there.
Yeah.
I love those little moments in stories.
I do love though that Ray stopped her from throwing it in the trash.
Yes, don't do it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that
great.
was fantastic. I gotta say though, I am slightly unsure about the formatting of this show as a whole. We are
Oh.
doing this thing where we do little mini half episode stories.
Right, it shows the manga chapter that it is adapted from. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Oh, is that what it is?
I believe so. I could be
Okay,
wrong, but
because
Yeah.
what I can tell is that certain stories or certain half episode chunks basically are way more compelling than others.
sure.
And certain ones have a completely different theme than the one that's happening in the same episode with them. Like a
Yes.
completely different tone
Uh-huh.
and all that other stuff. So there's a little bit of a thing there that I would love to see ironed out over the course of the show. Just figuring out a way to present them in such a way that they both feel like they should be in this
Right,
episode.
not even necessarily changing how they do it,
No.
but just, you know, yeah.
Just
making
just-
it smoother.
Yeah, making it smoother. And I think this was actually one of the ones that, because it was so high energy and ridiculous and over the top,
It really worked.
that it actually really worked.
Uh-huh.
But it was one of the times where, because I realized it worked, I was like, oh, now I'm looking back at some of the other episodes and going, they could have done those just a little bit better. And this is something where I'm like, this is such a minor thing
Yeah.
as far as the overall story goes, because I love the characters so freaking much.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't
characters
really
are
matter.
great.
But I'm looking forward to when they master that, because that seems to be an adaptation thing.
Possibly. I don't know. If that is something that is how it was in the original material, it's something that you couldn't really get rid of in the adaptation,
Right,
you know?
sure.
And then when you adapt it, that's something that you would have to work around and work on incorporating into the story, which could be very difficult.
Right, so it
Especially
probably
if they
is
don't
formatted
fit
this-
into an episode perfectly, you know?
Right,
If
that's
you have
my-
to like
that's my
cut one
thing.
shorter and then like put the other half of it in the next episode, or you know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Because that's something you don't generally see in linear storytelling. You see that more in episodic storytelling that's comedy based or sitcom
Yeah.
or like, you know, drama, slice of life kind of stuff.
Right.
I guess this is drama, but I mean way more on the slice of life side of things,
Sure.
where there's less conflict and or plot and or
And-
character
right.
development.
And this show has plenty of conflict,
Plenty of
even
drama.
though the way that it goes about handling it is in a very mellow pace at the very least.
It's a mellow pace right now,
Yeah,
but
but-
I
yeah.
doubt that's going to remain that way forever
yeah.
because of the fact that they're drip feeding us Ray's contextual backstory. And right now, it seems like they're going easy on us. Very easy.
Well, I mean, you've seen this glove start to come off this episode.
Oh, but this is nothing. Like
Oh,
this is
well, yeah.
this is nothing. If they're hinting at this and they only show
I think that's a bit more than hinting, but yeah.
Oh, I'm aware of, yes. What I mean is that they spent about 12 seconds probably on that actual
Yep.
scene. So
Yep.
they could have done more.
The thing is, okay, in rewatching this, I was waiting for them to bring that up because I forgot. Because you know, again, I wasn't fully like paying attention to this show when I first
Gotcha.
watched it. It was more of like a casual watch sort of thing to
Right.
unwind after a day and things like that. And so there would be details that I would miss, you know. And I've been waiting for them to bring that up, and I'd forgotten when they were going to do it.
You
and I
forgot
wasn't
the
sure
form that they
when
brought
exactly
it in.
right
Yeah.
because it's so I've been kind of on edge this entire time because
I can see why now.
yeah
Oh,
yeah
poor guy.
and
Yeah. Yeah, there's no words. It's okay, Jacob. It's okay. Guys, yeah. This show has some places it's going to go,
yeah
and it's prepping us for them. So, yeah. Guys, if you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there, watch full-length reactions there, and any kind of support gives you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories or just shoot the breeze in general, what have you.
lighthearted stuff.
Yeah. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.